Hey, Midlifers. We are continuing with the series Reclaiming Midlife. And this episode's question before we join today's conversation is, how would your life be different if you accepted and celebrated all of who you are? I want you to think about that for a minute. All the, quote, flaws you feel you have and are magnified in how you see yourself, while all the gifts that you also have are downplayed. All the areas where you have been successful or you allow yourself to be proud of are often brushed away. Everything you've gone through to lead you to where you are now is often forgotten. What if instead of thinking that all of that was no big deal, you thought, hot damn, I'm pretty amazing. Seriously, I want you to say that one more time. Say it out loud. Hot damn, I'm pretty amazing. We've been taught to not be too big for our britches. How many of us heard that when we were growing up? We were taught that bragging isn't nice, that being boastful makes you arrogant. I have a theory about comments like that, the don't get too big for your britches comments especially. These are what I call the good girl rules. We learned this as a child as a way to fit into a proper box of being acceptable as a woman. And here we are, over 40, and still living by those standards. My friends, you can claim your brilliance without being a jerk, I promise. You can be confident in who you are as a person and not belittle others. In fact, by claiming yourself, you are giving permission for other women to do the same. You can point out your daughters, your sisters, your friends' magic and celebrate that for them so they can see it in themselves. And I think that's one of the amazing qualities today's guest brings to the show. Kim Romain is a holistic life and business strategist, helping busy professionals move from chaos to clarity in their work and life. For years, she thought there was something wrong with her because she couldn't settle on the one thing she was meant to do in this lifetime. She had 11 different undeclared and 5 different declared majors in college and has 6 major career changes, not just job shifts. When she was introduced to the concept of being multi-passionate, she felt like she was finally able to breathe. Clearly, someone who doesn't like to settle for one thing at a time, Kim describes herself as an artist, theater geek, and D&D enthusiast who is deep into the practice of meditation and mindfulness. She loves playing the violin, working with her crystals and oracle cards, and will jump at any opportunity to whip up culinary delights in the kitchen or plan a super fun party with all the bells and whistles. She's pretty cool to hang out with, I gotta tell you. Kim's special brand of magic comes from her heart. She leads with love in all ways and for all things. And while she's a true introvert, Kim dreams of the opportunity to connect one-on-one with as many other individuals as she can during this lifetime, as it's from these moments of connection that she has seen magic happen. Please head over to the show notes to find direct links on how to connect with Kim online, as well as a photo of a dessert that she shared during our conversation. You're going to want to see it because it looks pretty amazing. Now let's start claiming your brilliance as we reclaim midlife with Kim Romain. What you put that just brought you some ease when you realized, oh, wait, I'm multi-passionate and that's okay.
Yeah, having a word for that changed my life.
Definitely.
100%.
When I was growing up, I was made to feel bad about that. So I don't know. Did you have that same experience?
Oh, yeah. Growing up, we all hear, and kids still hear it today, and it's still a pet peeve of mine, is what do you want to be when you grow up? Like you have to pick the thing. And I could never pick the thing. I always wanted to be lots of things. I wanted to experience lots of things. And when I would say the 12 things I wanted to be, an adult inevitably would say, oh, so you want to be a teacher? Oh, so you want to be an artist? Oh, so you want to be, and they would pick the one that probably resonated with them.
Right.
But it was like, no, could you validate who I am instead of making me feel like I don't know what I want?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I was called things like flighty or wishy-washy or
wishy-washy. Yeah.
And just, just these things that you hear as a kid, and then you just kind of take it with you as an adult and then feel bad about it, right? It's okay. Well, I'm kind of over this career choice, so I want to do something else.
Yeah. Where's your dedication?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That was one. It was when I started, and this was as a young adult, as I started moving between different career choices and trying different things out and just experimenting. Mm-hmm. That was echoing through my brain. And I actually don't remember who said it to me, but somebody said those words. Where's your dedication? Mm. Like, my dedication has to be to a thing outside of myself. That was weird to me. Like, I couldn't have put words to it then, but looking back, I definitely feel like, wait a minute, why can't that dedication just be to me?
Right. Ooh, yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I have to think too, that's such a truth. And I feel like when we are doing something and really into that thing, mm-hmm. we are super dedicated. It's like, give me all the knowledge, let me dive in here and think of new ways sometimes to even do this, and let me learn more, and just really passionate about it. And when you start feeling that kind of fizzle, for me, it's like, okay, well, yeah, next. Yeah. I think that's a great thing about, and I say this a lot, this show is never about becoming an entrepreneur, but I will say that is the wonderful thing about being an entrepreneur, because we can just create it and shift. And as long as we can get over those old stories we tell ourselves about being wishy-washy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's so that place where it starts to fizzle. I don't know about you, but have you ever sat down to try and figure out, like, how are all of these things connected?
Mm-hmm. I love doing that.
It's fascinating because I see things that I learned from being an attorney, that I learned from being in the theater, that I learned from being like all these different places that I was in my life that actually do come together. And, people think it's almost, schizophrenic because it's all over the place, but it's not. There's actually and when I understood who I was as a person, when I started getting really deep into not really analyzing, but understanding, right? Understanding what my strengths are, understanding what my values are, understanding what makes me tick. I could see, oh yeah. Yeah. It's so cool.
It's very cool. I love that golden thread that just kind of weaves through everything. And when you pay attention to that, then it doesn't seem so frenetic or wishy-washy or anything. And really, when we're standing in the middle of all that, then that's the commonality.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And we never know where that golden thread is going to lead us, right?
Right.
We can see it behind us and see how it pulled everything together. Mm-hmm. I have no idea where it's going to take me next. And that's so fun.
It's very fun.
So fun.
I didn't see the golden thread when I was 20, 30 years old so much. But now that I can look back and see that and trust it, right? I can trust that whatever comes up next for me is just part of that journey, part of what makes me.
I love that part of what makes me, because I think that's the cool thing of being this age, right? So I don't associate myself with my age, although I don't have a problem with my age. So I will be 52 in March. And it is fascinating because I do think now I see that as a blessing. Like the fact that I can see all of these pieces make me is the blessing of being this age. I couldn't have said that, as you just said, in my 20s or 30s. I started to be able to do that in my 40s, but I think my 40s was like my great awakening.
Yes.
I mean, part of it was I had our daughter 2 months before I turned 40. So it like truly was my great awakening. I wasn't really growing up alongside of her, but I came fully into me as a mom in my 40s, which has been really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be cool. And I think that, there's so many places here that we could talk about, but because becoming a mom in itself it really, well, a couple things. One is it makes you grow up, or it should. It definitely should. And two, it does so many things, right? But I'm thinking of when I had my oldest son, I was 26. And so I'm thinking of the difference between me being 26 and me turning 40 of, how much of that growth had happened because I was a mom, but also just age in general,
Right.
Just knowing the world around us and knowing how I fit into it more. And I've always looked at someone who had their children at a later age. I don't know. Is that the right term? Older age? I don't know what the right term is.
If you ask the doctors, I was advanced maternal age and I had all sorts of specialists and it was ridiculous. But yes,
oh, goodness.
It's called advanced maternal age. And you can't see the air quotes, but that's what happened.
That sounds horrible and they need to change that.
Right? Absolutely. Thank you for disempowering me as I bring a beautiful human being into the world.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh my goodness. All right. That's another episode for another time. But I think you and I could have that whole episode on all of that right there.
I think so.
Oh my gosh. What was I going to say? Midlife brain just kicked in.
So you were talking about, you think about when women have children who are of quote unquote advanced maternal age.
Well, there's two things. Like I look at that and I've inside me, I always think, oh my gosh, I don't know that I would have the energy to have a toddler when I'm in my 40s. But then the other part is, wow, how much more wisdom and patience and just everything that's really required to be a mom would I have had. So
yeah, I wouldn't say I would have been a horrible mom earlier, but I knew I wanted a family. I wasn't ever sure I wanted children. That's a weird thing to say, but I'm an only child. Mm-hmm. I never held a newborn infant until I held my own at age 40. So they scared the hell out of me.
Oh, heck yeah. They should. They should. Yeah.
And then I found when we had the ultrasound done and I found out I was having a girl, I was doubly terrified. I was like, oh my God, no, I cried. I was like, I can't have a girl. I can't do this because I know what girls are like, right? I had this preconceived notion of what she was going to be like. She's now a tween. And so she's in the throes of what I was terrified of. And I have to tell you, she's freaking awesome.
That's awesome.
And I don't think I necessarily would have been a bad mom, but I think I would have been a lot more challenged because I did a lot of growing up before I had her. I was previously married and went through a really bad relationship, and that helped me grow up a lot. Mm-hmm. And then as I met my partner, my husband, I started to really be speaking into what was important to me. So I was already starting to make that shift. And so when she came into the world, it felt like a gift to me to be able to start her life by allowing her to find her voice, because that had been so important to me.
Right.
And so at an early age, I remember my aunt one time came, she was like, Izzy was like 3 months old. And I held up 2 different outfits and I said, which one do you want? And I let her indicate in whatever way a 3-month-old can indicate when they can't even really see it that well, which outfit she wanted. And my aunt was like, why would you do that? And I said, why would I? Right. And I don't know that I would have had that ability when I was younger to start to say, hey, what do you actually want? How do you see yourself in the world? And as she's gotten older, those conversations have gotten super deep and super amazing. And I feel blessed to have had her when I did. I really do.
I can't help but just say she's amazing because she is her own person, but she's also amazing because she's been given the space to find out her amazingness through you.
It's interesting because it's being a parent has helped me create my own individuality even further. Mm-hmm. It was the catalyst to my understanding that I am an individual. That's the interest. It was like, all of a sudden I birthed this thing and I went, oh, she thinks differently than I do.
Right. Yeah. And that happens. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Oh gosh. That's like, my mind just like goes on squirrels just thinking about that. That's so true.
Right? Because we spend so much of our time even those of us that are aware of that, other people have their own thoughts. We spend our time thinking we think we know what other people are thinking, but we don't actually think about what they're thinking. That's a whole lot of thought.
That is a whole lot of thinking and not thinking. Oh gosh. So one thing before we move on is I wanted to mention, this whole advanced maternal age thing. I'm curious if that phrase is going to shift and change, because I know that when I look at my sons who are in their mid to almost 30 age range, that age group is waiting to have children. Mm-hmm. And which I'm totally fine with, but it's just, I'm wondering, when you have that societal shift of things, if that is actually going to influence the whole medical community and how they see that. So
how they discuss it. Yeah. I would love to know. It'll be interesting to see what happens, because just like with, there's politics involved in it too, I'm sure, because, I think some of it, and I'm not a doctor and I don't play one on TV. So
me either.
Right. I think it deals with somewhere so 35 and up is considered any quote unquote normal time you could enter perimenopause.
Right. Exactly.
So I think that is one of the places, like they start to see the decline, but just come up with a better phrase. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Just call it something different.
Call it something different, please. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. And what's interesting to note is the term and the study of perimenopause didn't happen until the freaking 90s.
Right. Yeah. Well, and the fact that menopause is one day.
Right.
And we never thought, like, I grew up thinking menopause was years.
Yeah, exactly. Nope. One day. One day. That's it. So, and I have had a couple episodes on that I'll link in the show notes if you want to go back and listen to that. Some of my earlier episodes. So apologies for any lack of interviewing skills that happened back then, but they are some really great, awesome, some wonderful interviews that I have with Shirley Weir from Menopause Chicks. And she talks about that. So great.
I remember listening to those, and there's some good information. It was helpful for me being in perimenopause to hear some of the information that the two of you were talking about.
Yeah.
So.
Well, good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that. So I'm curious, and this is a strange question because I know that you wouldn't know any other way, but how do you feel that having your daughter, I'm just going to say 40 because you're almost 40. So how do you feel having your daughter at 40 has influenced who you are in your 50s?
Yeah, it's a great question. And you're right. I don't definitively know. It's just, I don't know definitively how being an only child has affected who I am in my life. But the word that comes to mind is freedom, which is interesting. Mm-hmm. I feel like having her at that stage in my life influenced my ability to see that I am free in the choices that I make. One, advocating for myself through the birthing process at that age, and knowing enough to be able to say, this is not what I want. This is what I want. Mm-hmm. All the way through, schooling years so far, and being able to not really give a shit about what anybody else's opinion is on how I raise my child, has helped me do that for myself. Where now that I'm in my 50s, it's all about my autonomy. It's about seeing myself as that, having that moment of she's an individual and she has her own thought reflected back at me. Oh, I'm an individual with my own thoughts and they matter. Yeah. So parenting her has allowed me to see that and really lean into that. Even though it's been 12 years, I think it's been much faster for me than had I not had her. I don't know if I would have gotten to this place at this point in my life.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. And I'm just thinking of that and reflecting that back on my own journey as a mom and becoming who I am. Yeah, that's great. That's wonderful. And something that comes to mind as you're sharing that is such an empowered stance, I guess, of who you are as well as being the age that you are. We're in a series right now about reclaiming midlife. And I'm curious, just from your perspective, when does that, okay, first of all, how do you feel about the word midlife?
The same way I feel about advanced maternal age.
I know, it sucks, right?
Right. And I think it's so funny because I was thinking about this before we started talking today. The word itself is fine. And actually, it's kind of cool to think, I'm like, oh, I'm only halfway through. Right. Like we think when we're in our 20s and 30s, we're like, oh my gosh, I don't have, like, I'm starting to run out of time. Right. And I'm like, oh, wait, if this is midlife, I'm halfway through. I have so much more to do. And then I, look at individuals who are in their 80s and 90s. And I think, okay, maybe it's chronologically, we are halfway through. And yet, unfortunately, towards the end of our life, not all of us are able to continue the way that we are now.
Right.
So, but the connotation that it has and like what it has, like, I want us to reclaim it in a way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hence the series.
Yeah.
And also hence the podcast, because I don't know if you know the story of the podcast name, but as I was turning 50, I was freaking out about turning 50. And it hit me as like, oh, holy shit, I'm in midlife. I thought there's got to be a better word for midlife than midlife. For some reason, I hit the Googles and I looked up definition of midlife. At the time, it was on Urban Dictionary and it said the wrong side of 40. Oh. And that's what pissed me off.
Yeah.
I was like, screw this, and so that's how the name came about. It's just an interesting take on what that word has come to mean and the negativity around it, and especially for women.
Yes.
Because midlife men, hell, George Clooney is hotter than ever,
Right. Exactly. So. Well, it's that comparison. I mean, even if we think about, who the hotties are when they're in their 70s and 80s, 60s, 70s and 80s for men. And we think about, there's a ton of gorgeous women who are even over 60. So we're not in our 60s. And I think I can think of plenty of women who are over 60 who are gorgeous. And what gets pointed out is that their boobs have sagged, their butt has sagged, their whatevers have sagged. And it's like, so have the men's.
Yeah, exactly.
So why don't we talk about that? Why are we so like, it's somehow tied to, well, one, our self-worth, but also our bodies and how we feel in our bodies. I know so my husband's only 3 years older than me. I don't feel the achy. I feel fine in my body. I'm like, it's all good. My husband has tons of aches and pains. And I feel like, yeah, that's midlife. I love you, honey, but you're in midlife.
Right.
I'm apparently not there yet. I feel like, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Could we define it like we define puberty? It's not an age, it's a state.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. Because I do feel that it's, for some people, if I were to ask them, when does midlife begin? Some people would say 45, some people would say 50, if you're looking chronologically. But I also know some women who I've spoken to, it's like, well, 70. Like, cool, I'll take that, so, and I do feel like it is a whole mindset state, right? And puberty is tied to age and tied to changes in the body, but it's also a state because it's so flexible depending on the person.
Yes. Yeah. We're in the middle of that. So that's why that came to mind is right. It's like, I mean, vaccines are based right now. We're in the world of vaccines and those are based on a chronological age of 12. However, my understanding from doctors my daughter's doctors it's actually based on puberty. And the best way to say puberty is to say 12. Gotcha. The problem is she entered puberty a year before age 12. So they gave her a dosage with her first vaccine that was not actually right for her body. But I couldn't say she's already entered. Like, so it's the same thing. She was quote unquote penalized or whatever. She didn't receive the right thing because she hadn't entered that stage. So it's like, it's fluid. So why isn't midlife fluid? I mean, I guess it is if people have different concepts of it, but I feel like midlife has like you enter midlife and then it's the end.
Right. There's exactly. There's kind of
why is that? Why do we feel like it's the end?
I don't know. It's just such a weird, that's kind of the thing that's gotten to me this whole time of being in midlife. It's okay. Well, what's after midlife? Are you a senior citizen? Like, it's just
right.
What? Yeah. It's
weird.
It is weird. It is weird. And then the fact that we take it to, like, I really loved how you saw it to be like, oh, cool. I've got half of my life here.
Yeah.
And so many times it's looked at as like, oh shit, I only have half of my life here. It's just a choice on how you look at that. And I'll be honest, mine was like, oh shit. I only have so many years. And in reality, we never know how many years we have. Yeah.
We don't. My oh shit was at 30.
Mm-hmm.
I bawled for days when I turned 30. I was like, like, I haven't done anything with my life. Oh my God, this is horrible. Mm-hmm. When I turned 50, I was like, cool, I'm 50.
Yeah.
It seems weird for me to say it's still, so I log into Facebook and I say happy birthday. It's like one of the 3 things I do on Facebook.
Right.
And like, I say happy birthday to everybody. And it's regular that I go, where did I get all these friends that are in their 50s and 60s? What the hell is that? Like, cause I don't associate. And yet I'm very much here I am.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have to say, I remember when you sent me a note and you said something about being 50. I was like, wait, Kim, you're 50? No way.
It's true.
It's so funny. And that, why would I not think that? It's just like, I don't feel, I'm starting to have the aches and pains. So I'm in midlife, obviously, but according to your definition, but like mind-wise, brain-wise, my love for doing new things and adventure, not jumping out of airplanes adventure, but just experiencing new things. I don't see myself as being in midlife or in my 50s either. Right. So I don't know why I just thought, I was like, no way, are you 50? So
I know. And I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. It's like, I'm so bad about guessing age, right? Like, I cannot look at somebody and think, oh, they're in their 30s or whatever. When I look at you, I honestly think you're in your 30s. So
thank you.
And if you didn't have, your daughter, your 12-year-old daughter, I would probably think younger, but just putting all that together. But anyway, it is just an interesting, I'm trying to bring myself back here from this wandering of conversation. But just to kind of stack on to the whole, changes in our body and the ways that we look. And I really feel as women, we need to take responsibility on how we judge other women.
Yes.
Because I honestly feel like a lot of that comes from us.
It does. All right. So there is, that was a big, deep sigh, because there's this thing that I really want to talk about in the world. And I'm baby stepping into it because I'm so afraid of backlash, but I'm going to put it out there right here, right now.
Yeah. Yay.
So there is this concept that I don't know if I've created it or not, but I didn't hear it anywhere else, is this idea of internal misogyny, where we don't even need anything outside of ourselves to keep ourselves in that box. Yep. And I feel like what you just said speaks volumes to that idea, because we need to absolutely be kinder to each other. And it starts with being kinder to ourselves. We need to stand up for ourselves and not just point the finger and blame, and not just say, oh, why isn't the medical industry saying, something other than advanced maternal age? Right. Like, where do we stand up for ourselves? My mom was in the 70s, a big proponent of the ERA, and she did a lot with them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like we haven't made strides.
Right.
And
yes.
Right. And I mean, there, again, we could spend, another 4 hours talking about this, but I think it does come back to personal responsibility. It comes back to that place of, if we hear those voices in our heads saying something about ourselves or somebody else in a judgmental way, we need to stop ourselves and ask what that is about. Like, just be curious at the beginning.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. And I think it does. So just as being humans, we're judgmental. I mean, it's just a fact. And when we find ourselves judging others, that's the invitation to really look at, what are we judging within ourselves?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we are sending something out, what we are mirroring back to ourselves. And so, that's an opportunity to really dig a little deeper and find out what's going on there.
Yeah, for sure. It's hard. It's scary.
Oh, heck yeah, it is.
Right.
Any self-growth is scary, and it's not easy, and it's not for the faint of heart, but to be able to, just in you sharing your story, to be able to stand in your autonomy and your independence and your growth, that takes self-examination and self-growth and being open to whatever comes up during that journey.
100%. I was scared. I am scared throughout the process. There's fear all over the place. And I'm consciously making the choice each time I feel the fear or the overwhelm or the judgment or the whatever it is. I consciously make the choice. Is this what I want to be doing? Is this how I want to be behaving or living or thinking? And if it's not, then what are my options? Right? What else is available to me in this moment? Because sometimes we have a lot of options available to us. And sometimes it's just shifting from, I don't want to accept that thought as fact right now. Right? If it's a thought about midlife and I don't want to be in midlife. Okay, well, the reality is I'm 52 years old. Like, here I am.
Right.
So I can accept it. And I can say, wow, what is that? What are you upset about with that? And that is always, the question is always available. I don't have to go right to, yay, I'm in midlife, right?
Right, exactly. There has to be a bridge between your feelings and thoughts to where you want to be.
Right.
It's not like you can just switch it off, say a little mantra that's on your mirror and all of a sudden you'll feel better about yourself. Like, it doesn't work that way, unfortunately.
It doesn't. The mantras, I think, help as
They're
a
helpful.
Reminder. And I think there's a reality and understanding. We may never get to the place where it's like, yay, I'm in midlife, because that word doesn't resonate with us for whatever reason.
Right.
But we also don't have to feel bad about it. Like, there's a difference between not liking it and accepting it.
Right. To me, what's coming up is and I don't think this is 100% spot on, but like, I think of resignation and acceptance. Like, resignation is, oh shit, I'm in midlife, I'm doomed. My life is half over. But acceptance is like, okay, this is my age. This is where I am. I get to choose now what I make of it.
Yeah. It's absolutely, because we don't, it's funny because when I was younger, I didn't ever, I thought it was funny when people were saying age is just a number. I'm like, yeah, that's what you tell yourself when you're older because you don't want to be the age you are. And I genuinely no, age is just a number because I don't feel that age. I do feel that I feel 52 because I am 52.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't have a definition of what that is. I have somebody else's definition of what that should be, right? It's like, oh, you're on the backside and you're going like you're on the downhill. And it's like, no, that's not my definition.
Yeah.
That's that reclaiming thing, right?
Yeah. I love that word, reclaiming. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that your word?
It might be. I didn't come up with one this year, but it might be. And I could see that definitely. What a great question. I could see that definitely coming true in a lot of things. And
Nice.
So, you know what? I'm going to reclaim, or I'm going to claim that reclaim is my
I
word
just
of the
got
year.
chills. I
Thank
love
you for that, Kim.
You're welcome.
Yes, yes. Well, I feel like we could just go on and on. There's so many things I feel like I could bring up right now, but I'm also looking at the time and I'm thinking about listeners. I'm always wanting to keep this to where they can listen on their commute. I'm not sure even who commutes anymore, but I'm sure there are people, or their walk or something like that. So I just wondered if you're ready to move into our Midlife Hot Flash.
Absolutely.
Which is our 10 rapid fire questions, as long as I don't interrupt. And then it's not so rapid fire. All right. You ready? I know, because I'm always like, oh, cool. Me too. So anyway.
I know. It's hard.
It is hard. It's hard, especially when I just love talking with you. So, all right. Question number 1, tea or coffee?
It used to be coffee and then midlife. Now it's tea.
I understand that. Favorite all-time band or musician?
All right. This is where the multi-passionate part comes out, because these are really hard for me to answer.
I know. I hear you.
All right. So I have to go with the 2 bands that sing my 2 favorite songs. So it's ABBA and Katrina and the Waves.
Oh, okay. What are the songs? What are the 2?
So it's Dancing Queen and Walking on Sunshine.
Yes. I love those songs too. Love it. Love it. But all these like favorites, it's hard to pick one when you're multi-passionate. I get it. Yeah. So the next one is another favorite dessert.
Okay. So favorite dessert nostalgia is angel food cake with strawberries. Mm-hmm. New favorite, because I really loved making it for the first time this New Year's Eve and like really want to do it again, is croquembouche.
Ooh, please tell me what that is, because it sounds fancy schmancy.
It is fancy schmancy. It's profiteroles, right? So it's little cream puffs.
Okay.
And then it's made into like a Christmas tree shape, and it's covered with spun caramel.
Oh, goodness. That sounds amazing.
I'll send you a picture.
Okay. Yes, please do. And I will include it in the show notes so everybody can see it.
Excellent.
Yes. So here, I had to laugh when you mentioned this earlier. What did you want to be when you grew up?
Yes. So
12. I want to hear all 12.
All 12. I don't know if I could come up with a 12, but all right. So let's see. I know that it was fashion designer, restaurateur, teacher, dancer, artist, actress. I think we're going to leave it at those 6, because those are the ones that are right off the top of my head.
That's perfect. I love it. I love it. And actually, I have to smile because I know I can see you doing all those things, honestly. And I can see how that kind of weaves into what you're doing now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And what's fun is on some level, I've done all of them. Mm-hmm. That's the cool thing, is like, there's nothing that I really wanted to do that I feel like I just never did it. I mean, okay, no, there is one thing. I really wanted to go on the senior foreign exchange trip to England, and I chickened out because they didn't have, I was going to have to stay with the professor. So I was sorry, I'm totally digressing here. No. I was a theater major in college, and my focus was Shakespearean studies. In high school, I had an opportunity to go on this trip my senior year, and I didn't know that was where I was going to go with my college degree. Oh. And they were going to put me with a Shakespearean professor. And I'm like, how boring is it going to be with a professor? So I chickened out and I didn't go. So that's the one thing that I'm like, and I can't go back and do that.
Oh, that makes me sad. Oh, 18-year-old Kim.
I know.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Next question. Your current self-indulgence.
There's 2. One is dark chocolate with sea salt, and the other is watching Escape to the Chateau.
Ooh, I have to look that one up.
I'll send you that link.
Okay. What is inspiring you right now?
So this is an interesting one. I think what's inspiring me now is deep desire to... The Great Resignation and reshuffling is inspiring me, because I think we actually have a hope of making work actually put into the right context and into our lives, because it's gotten really out of control.
Yes. Yeah. And I know, so I'm going to mention this because this didn't come up in our conversation. I feel it's important. You do not believe in work-life balance.
Oh no, balance is bullshit. Absolutely.
There we
100%.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you call it? What do you call them?
So really, I call it life. It's just life. And work is a component of life. And really, I believe that we are writing the symphonies of our own lives. And the idea is to create harmony between all of the components of our lives, which means that sometimes there's going to be discord. Sometimes it's not going to be all in rhythm, but that's really what we're going for as a whole.
Love it. Yeah. So what do you hope people say about you when you leave the room?
She's so lovely.
Oh, I say that.
Oh, thanks.
What advice do you wish you could give your 20-year-old self? Go on the damn trip.
Go on the damn trip. But yeah, I mean, it goes along with that is don't be afraid. It's okay. Make those mistakes.
It's funny because every time someone answers this question, I always say this, we need to hear that now, right? What we needed to hear at 20, oftentimes we still need to hear it.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
All right. My most favorite question that I ask my new clients, if you could be any animal for a day, what would you be?
A unicorn.
Oh, yay. Of course. And why would you be a unicorn?
Because I am magical and mythical, and I want to bring magic into the world.
You already are a unicorn. So
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Our last question. What do you want other women in midlife to know?
You got this. Like, don't worry so much. It's okay to get out of your own way. It's okay to stop listening to all the shit that's swirling around you. You've got this. Just go grab it.
I love it. I love it. Kim Romain, thank you so much for being on the show. It was really great to have you on this discussion.
It was so much fun. Thank you for having me.
I really hope this episode inspires you to practice claiming your brilliance, to practice looking in the mirror, actually, and telling yourself that you are a phenomenal woman with so much to offer and so much magic of your own. It is up to us to realize our own importance in this life that we are living. And it is up to us to give ourselves permission to own it, to be it, and to share it with the world.